Hi, welcome back to the homestead. So I thought I'd do a little video here and tell you about some success we've had on the homestead. Uh, this is something anybody with a homestead of any property at all can do and actually make money. We've tried everything. Everything that our homestead was capable of handling. We've raised chickens, tried to sell eggs, ducks. We had at one time 40 ducks, uh, selling eggs, hatching eggs from chickens. Uh, we had an incubator. I hatched hundreds of peeps and sold them. Uh, we've had brown Chinese geese. We've had Kiko goats. Uh, and our pasture field and property just isn't big enough for things like cattle or llamas or some of the bigger animals. Goats is about as big as we could go. We've only got 3 acres. We have 1 acre that's fenced pasture field, and that's where the goats were. We had 5 does, 5 Kiko does, and a buck, and we raised babies and we sold them. And no matter what we did, the reality is we sold tons of eggs. We sold tons of baby peeps that we hatched. We sold baby goats, both does and wethers and bucklings. But the reality is, when you do the math on it, by the time you pay the feed, we don't have enough pasture field to support the goats without hay supplement. And by the time you buy feed and hay, or feed for the chickens, feed for the ducks, I don't think we much more than broke even for 10 years. We made a little money, but not when you think of the number of hours of work. We just didn't make anything really at all. So we got out of the goat business. Loved the goats, loved the baby goats, loved watching them play and jump, and it was great. But we just it was a lot of work and not a lot of money. So we had this goat pasture that I fenced. It's 4x4 goat sheep woven wire fencing on T-posts. And we had just a little bit over an acre fenced, about a third of which is kind of open grassy field, and 2/3 is woods where they browsed. Uh, and I had to put fence wire around the trees. I didn't want them to eat the bark on, because goats will eat the bark off of, especially they love the maple trees. And that's what's down in there behind me, is the woods where the goats were. So we got out of the goats and we had this pasture field sitting here completely empty. And I came across something on Facebook, and it has been amazing. When we started this, we hoped we could make enough to at least pay our property taxes for a year. That way, at least the property is paying for itself. We started this April 1st, 2024. It is now July 11th, 2024. We've already made enough money to pay our property taxes net, not just gross, net, to pay our property taxes for the entire year. So in just a little over 3 months, April, May, June, we made enough to pay our property taxes for the whole year. And you can do this too. Anybody with a little bit of property, even in town lots, city lots. So what am I talking about? How am I making money? I tell you. So it's called Sniff Spot. SNIFFSPOT. And what Sniff Spot is an app that a guy by the name of David Adams developed. And the guy's a genius. It's amazing. It is structured much like Airbnb. But what it is you rent your property by the hour to people to come and exercise, run, and play with their dogs. It is a private dog park rented by the hour for people that live in the city in apartment buildings. You know, if you live in an apartment, you don't have a yard for the dog to run around in. Even if you have a house with a small lot, uh, if it's not fenced, you know, your dog may or may not be able to be off of a leash. You take it for walks, but it's on a leash. The poor dog can never just run and take off and be a dog. So that is what Sniff Spot's all about. David Adams had a dog that was reactive to other dogs. He couldn't just take it to a dog park and he'd get in a fight. And even if your dog's not reactive, if you go to a public dog park where other people come, their dogs may be reactive and fight your dog. Or you might have people that are just not pleasant people to be around in a public dog park. So, you know, in regular parks and places where you can take your dog, the dog has to be on a leash. So, that's what this is all about. You rent this by the hour, you bring your dog here, no one else can be here with their dog when you're here. You're by yourself, your dog is off leash, inside a fence, it's secure, dog can run, play, throw a ball for it, you can throw a frisbee for it. You know, we have dog walk, the dog can, you know, walk a balance beam. We have, well, I'll take you on a little tour here, but we've got a bin full of dog toys, frisbees, and balls. We've got a little shanty down there that's got a shelf that has mosquito repellent and sunscreen and hand sanitizer. If you didn't think to bring those things with you, you're here for an hour or for however long you book it. Typically, it's hour booking. You're here by yourself with your dog or dogs, or maybe you have a family member or a close friend that also has dogs that your dog gets along with, and you know the people and you want to bring them too. We can accommodate up to 20 dogs. It's $10 per hour for the first dog and $5 per hour for each additional dog. So if you bring 4 dogs, it's $25 an hour. And the way Sniff Spot is set up, it's an app. They download the app, go to your site, click book now. They book a day and time. They pay on the site. And Sniff Spot at the end of the month gives us a direct deposit for the total paid minus 20%. They keep 20% for handling the app and collecting the money and all that. And you can start a Sniff Spot with even a little backyard in town. It doesn't even have to be fenced. The more accommodating it is to the dog, the more business you're going to get. If it is fenced, and if it's bigger than just a little yard, you're likely to get a lot more people come there than just a little yard in town. But it's up to you. You can do an acre, 5 acres. Some are 40 acres unfenced. You just run in the woods and, you know, trails through the woods, open fields, pasture fields, hay fields, big farms, little lots in town. There's anything in between. And you can set your hours, the hours you're willing to take appointments. Like, we don't accept anything before 9 a.m. and we don't accept anything after 8 p.m. You don't have to be here. You know, if you can set it up on your site with instructions of how to find the gate to enter, what to expect when they get here. We like to be here and greet the people, especially if it's their first visit, but we don't have to be. You set your hourly rate. It can be, some are as, you know, little lots in town, some of them are as little as $4 an hour. Some of the bigger spots, big farms and everything, or places that have a pond that the dog can swim in, places like that, some of them are $20 an hour. The more you have to offer, the more you can charge. Ours is set up at $10 an hour for the first dog, $5 after that. Half price for each additional dog. We also have birthday parties. That's set up as an extra on the site. So if you want to come here with 5 dogs for your dog's birthday and have a birthday party, you pay for the $10 for the first dog, $5 for each additional dog, and then $10 for the extra of the birthday party. And for the extra, we put up birthday banners and decorate and put balloons up. And we have we cut out a bone-shaped little cake that's dog edible stuff that we make. Um, and and have a little birthday party for them, and they can book an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever they want. So there's just no cost to it at all to us. We already had the fence from the goats. We did get some scrap lumber and some recycled stuff that we made some stuff out of, but we don't have to feed it, we don't have to water it. I have to mow it about once a week, and we're good to go. So I'll take you on a little tour here and show you what we have to offer. Be right back. Okay, so when you arrive here, this is what you find. Here's a spot for customers to park out of the way of our driveway. And you'll see up there is a sign that says entry gate. So as they pull up here and park, they then follow this path around to the entry gate. We have a mulch path here so it doesn't get muddy. And some little decor here for them to see going by. And there's the entry gate. And our last guests were Sally and Bella. Bella's a German Shepherd, very reactive to people and dogs. And she's come a long way getting exercise coming here, and it's getting so I can actually hand her a ball to play with. And she didn't used to have anything to do with me. So anyway, this is the gate. We have a kiddie pool for when it's real hot if people want to fill it. I took it in to wash it today, but there's normally a stainless steel water bowl that sits here for the dogs. And I got a little wooden platform here so that it doesn't get muddy around the water bowl and stuff. And the hose there is always turned on for the guests. Bella used this towel. We put a fresh towel out when new guests are coming. The hose is always turned on if they want to fill the pool or refill the water bowl. There's always fresh water here for them. We have that, which is a little platform they can sit on with their dogs and have a photo op. I'll insert some of the photos that have been taken sitting there and stuff. They kind of have fun with that. There's little bird houses there. A lot of bluebirds are in there. I think there's 4 or 5 of them have bluebirds in them. That's our frequent sniffer board. And again, all of this is stuff we came up with. You can do whatever you want to do. This is just stuff we did. You don't have to do this. It's just something that makes maybe us stand out above some of the other ones. That's our frequent sniffer board. Those are all dogs that have been here 3 or more visits. The cross that's there is actually for a Doberman that was one of our first frequent sniffers. Had a tumor and passed away, crossed the Rainbow Bridge. So we did a little acknowledgement for him in memory of his visits here. That little shanty is where I mentioned the bins there have dog toys, balls, frisbees, stuff for the dogs to do, the hula hoops. The can there's a poop can or trash while you're here. There's mosquito repellent and sunscreen on the shelf there. And the red basket there has poop bags in it. And there is another one. I don't want to make you sick going too fast. There's another one over here. And then along the trail through the woods, we have baskets of the poop bags available. Everybody's real good about cleaning up after their dogs. I've only ever picked up one pile somebody missed. And we have fun little things to do. Here's our dog library. Take a stick, leave a stick. A little fire hydrant there. Actually, a guest bought that at a garage sale. They said we just had to bring it to you. It's kind of cool. We have a fire circle down here for cool evenings in the spring and fall. And especially if you're going to stay for more than an hour, I usually get a fire going for them and have it when they arrive. There's a picnic table. A lot of people have come here with pizzas or whatever, sit and eat while their dogs play. That is a little sniff spot. There's 3 of those out through the woods with a little basket. You can hide treats in the little basket and see if your dog can find them. The green, we call that the green mountain down there. It's just something for the dogs to climb and play on. The dog walk. And over there is our memorial bridge. I'll show you that. We'll get over there. We also have this canopy. That's where I was sitting when I started the video. People can sit in the shade, or if it's a drizzly day, they can stay dry under there while the dog plays in the rain. It's just a little place to sit and relax while your dog plays if you want. If not, go play with the dog. And then behind that you see the memorial bridge. We'll get on the trail here and I'll show you that. Okay, so I'm just under the canopy now. So this is the trail. It starts off and leads over to the memorial bridge. And the memorial bridge, well, I'll show you the plaque we made. That's what our memorial bridge is all about. So I mentioned Atlas, the Doberman, was one of our first frequent sniffers in past. So I did this little plaque in memory of him. And I'll add to it if need be. I hope I don't have any more to add. And people on a railing, we had a storm last night, there's a branch. So on the railing here, I don't know, the sun's kind of glary. You see this? People have written, we have a pen there for people to use. People have written the names of their past dogs that have crossed the Rainbow Bridge in memory of them. And there are now 102 names written on the bridge, which is just kind of cool. So after you cross the bridge, the trail continues. And we have little things, tree faces, and little bones with saying on them, on some of the trees. It's just, something fun. Again, you don't have to do any of this. It's up to you, but the more you do of this kind of thing, the more your place might be more appealing to somebody than another sniff spot. There's 8,000 sniff spots nationwide now. There aren't that many in Ohio, but there are some around us. Some are just small city lots. Some are, there's one about 30 miles from here that's, I think, 10 acres fenced with a pond for dogs to swim in. And we've had people come here that have been there, people that go there that have come here. There's a thing they can get, there's another one of the poop bag stations. There's a thing they can get called a sniff pass. They pay a little bit more money up front, but for a discount. And then they can, like they pay like $60 a month, and then they can go to multiple sniff spots. Those are good anywhere. So people with sniff passes sometimes go to 3 or 4 different sniff spots in their area and just shake it up a little bit. Have something a little different for the dog to do. Different smells, different terrain, different fun things to do. Another poop bag station. So it's quite a growing thing, and awesome for the dogs to be able to get some exercise. So we're back down here at the picnic table in Green Mountain area now. The fire pit's up ahead of us. The trail goes clear around. And there you see the grassy open field up top where people can throw the frisbee, throw a ball. Dogs just run and have fun. So that's about it. That's what our sniff spot's all about. something you may want to consider and check into. It's sniffspot.com. Oh, and they give $2 million liability insurance is included with this. So, something you may want to look at. Investigate it. Google it. Check it out. Sniffspot.com. I'll see you next video.